We're coming to you live from Kenya's capital, Nairobi. This is K24 Newscast. Many thanks for joining us this afternoon. My name is Bentura Komboka, and now let's take a look at what's shaping our broadcast at this hour. The Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers vows not to suspend the strike, which began on Monday, with Union Secretary Akelo Mesori stating that teachers will not back down. President William Ruto begins his 4-day Nyanza tour that will cover 4 counties by launching the Kegonga Cluster Water Project. The Controller of Budget, Margaret Nyakango, denies a request by Meru Senator Kathure Murungi to bar Governor Kawera Mwangeza from withdrawing funds from the County Revenue Fund pending her impeachment tussle. Welcome to the program. Our sign language interpreter will be Margaret Nyambura. And Kenya is missing out on maximum agricultural productivity due to the degradation of arable soil. Dr. David Kamau of the Kenya Agricultural and Livestock Research Organization, KALRO, reports that an acre of land should ideally produce 45 bags of maize, but Kenyan farmers are currently harvesting fewer than 10 bags. The urgent call is for farmers to focus on soil restoration through improved agricultural practices and the balanced use of both organic and inorganic fertilizers. Let's listen in.
Looking at the status of land degradation that we have in Kenya, I think we are not doing well. When I say we are not doing well, I mean that probably over 60%. Over 60%. As you know, Kenya, up to 80% is arid and semi-arid. And those are the areas that are most prone to degradation. Grazing is one of the most devastating things that we have. Then due to climate change's effect, due to we have too much rain falling at one go, and we end up eroding all our topsoils. Then we also have serious droughts. We have serious droughts that have been affecting our country, and that makes a lot of there are lots of challenges that we face. So when it comes to the issues to do with maybe the cropping land, because cropping land is also very affected, it's one of the areas that the government has really been taking serious. We see that farmers keep on plowing their land and they are not returning the nutrients that are being lost out of harvesting. And one of the biggest challenges that we face is maybe even availability of the fertilizers, and that's why the fertilizers are probably too expensive, and that's why the government came up with the fertilizer subsidy program. We feel that it has been done well, and if we only can create more awareness onto what needs to be returned back to the soil, maybe that would be a good thing. The other thing is probably over-relying maybe on inorganic maybe fertilizers, and that's why if you look at one of the recommendations of the African Fertilizer and Soil Health Summit, it was to maybe integrate organic with inorganic. The issue is about the low organic carbon that we have in our soils. Our soils are not able to even release those kind of nutrients. Our soils are very acidic. We have a situation whereby about maybe 65% of our soils are acidic. And when a soil is acidic, it may be having maybe the nutrients that are required, but the nutrients get locked up in the soil matrix, and they need to be solubilized by changing the acidity status so that the nutrients will be available. And that's one of the reasons why we also feel that the issue of soil fertility status is important.
Finally, from here,
yes.
You said some of the challenges that degrade our soil is rainfall.
Yes.
And a group of Meru County Assembly members supporting embattled Meru Governor Kawera Mwangaza have accused Meru Senator Kithure Murungi of sabotaging the operations of the county government. The MCS says Murungi acted with ill intent by writing a letter to the Controller of Budget advising against the approval of the budget allocation for the fiscal year 2024-2025, which had been assigned by the impeached Meru Governor. The legislatures have urged the public to ignore Mwangaza's detractors, maintaining she will continue to serve in office until 2032.
The people of Meru are on record witnessing the governor being sworn in. The people of Meru gave the governor a mandate and overwhelmingly voted for that lady in 2022. My request to the leaders of Meru, give the people's power a chance. Give the rule of law a chance. Let us stop the shadow boxing of inciting residents in various wards in the disguise of people purporting to put the governor out of office.
A time has come for us to face Kadhuri eye to eye and tell him that he's not representing us, and the views that he has, even to the controller of budget, those are not our views. Because one, we need to have even a public participation. Because Saila anasema pesa isikuje kwa mashinani, and make a decision for the entire county. When we know there are people who need salaries, we know there are development needs to be done.
Tuko na wafanyikazi ambao wanapaswa kulipwa mishahara. Mandawa katika hospitali yanahitajika. Crucial services za kaunti ya Meru zinahitajika. Alafu seneta aseme ya kwamba tungoje mpaka wakati kesi itaamuliwa. Tunajua koti zetu za Kenya makesi huchukua muda mrefu. So, Senator, unamaanisha ya kwamba mpaka wakati hii kesi itakuwa ruled ndio Meru itaweza kusimama tena? Si haki na hakuna ukweli wowote.
Members of Parliament from the National Government Constituency Development Fund Committee have challenged the Ministry of Environment to consider expanding the scope of climate change mitigation measures that can be legally executed through the NGCDF kitty. During a meeting to finalize the drafting of guidelines on the amended NGCDF Act, the MPs noted that key areas of concerns include water harvesting and promotion. Use of renewable clean energy in public institutions will go a long way in pushing climate change mitigation efforts beyond the tradition of a tree planting in public schools.
One will be they will participate in the construction that is inspecting.
We need something on water resource management to be part of the guidelines. How do we do that? Is it harvesting of water alone? We need something on afforestation, which we are talking about. We are concentrating in schools, but if you ask me, there's Karura Forest. I think we can take children there. People to adapt the forests they also have in their areas and continue building those forests.
I think that recommendation of how do we handle the arid and semi-arid region of this country. If we are to look at the 15 billion, the way it's been designed, we are looking at huge opportunities of almost 50%. We deliver through restoring the arid and semi-arid counties of this region. And I believe we would have to have a sit down and see how do we accommodate, for instance, investment that can allow natural regeneration through either harvesting, water harvesting interventions, possibly never allows that.
To green the place can never be green only from the school or green from some public land, unless you are talking about forest reserves which are there, but how many forest areas do we have in this country? So we need to mitigate this through also issuance of seedlings to the public through the chiefs or the Ngao group during the time of planting. Because unless we are going to support the farmers, then we shall only be talking about trees in schools, trees in public places.
And water crises in Nairobi will be a thing of the past following the completion of the much-awaited multi-billion Northern Collector Tunnel project. The 9.5 billion shillings project will begin pumping 140 million litres of water daily into Nairobi and surrounding counties in 2 weeks' time once the testing and flushing of the 55-kilometre bulk water transmission pipeline is done. According to Water Principal Secretary Julius Korir, the tunnel will channel water drawn from River Gikigie, Irati and Mathioya into Ndakaini Dam before it is processed at Kigoro Treatment Plant and distributed to Nairobi, Kiambu and Murang'a counties. Nairobi will enjoy the lion's share of the total water.
Fully commissioned, the water to Nairobi, the rationing will now be reduced significantly because in the plan, Nairobi will take 120,000 cubic meters per day. We leave around 7,000 to Murang'a, another 7,000 to Kiambu, and 7,000 to Machakos. That is Mavoko area up to Athi River. And mainly we are targeting the EPZ because we have a lot of industries that require a lot of water in that area. So this project, where we've reached a very important milestone in the life of water sector in Kenya, as well as also for the people of Nairobi.
This system will ensure that the city receives upwards of about 700.
The Kenya Union of Post-Primary Teachers, KUPPET, is continuing with their strike on Day 3 across the country, despite the Labour Court's order temporarily halting their strike. And now let's cross over and listen in.
We are ready. They have negated the principles of our 2017-2021 CBA. They don't want anybody to listen to that. One of the things in that CBA is that every school must have a principal. We have over 4,000 principals acting in positions, yet the commission had said, and in the agreement, that they will formally give substantive appointment. We have deputy principals serving in acting capacity, and they don't want to be told. They don't even want to pay them special allowance. They don't want to pay them special duty allowance, even acting allowance. Surely. They have abused all laws in the land. They are going to court with unclean hands. I wonder whether this court will listen to them when we appear before it. They have blatantly, even in engagement of these interns, the court had rendered a judgment in April. Bure kabisa. In fact, Teacher Service Commission, the people who are presiding over it should watch out. Should watch out. They have killed the morale of teachers. If you are now intimidating teachers using orders, are you sure you are dealing with papers or you are dealing with human beings? KUPPET power! KUPPET power! Thank you. No, we are created to negotiate. Unions are created to negotiate, not to preside over standoffs. And that is the leaf that we have given the Teacher Service Commission. And what do they give us in return? They are intimidating us with orders. Sawa, it is okay, but let us meet in court now. But this is what we have said.
Strike continues.
Strike continues.
Strike continues.
Strike continues.
Strike continues.
Power. Power.
Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever.
Well, and away from that, vandals who intentionally damage, destroy or vandalize the railway infrastructure could soon face life imprisonment. This is after the Ministry of Roads and Transport introduced a bill aimed at curbing railway infrastructure vandalism and promoting safety in the sector. Speaking in Nanyuki on Tuesday during the Railway Bill 2024 public participation, Railway Safety Engineer Jonathan Kilelo said the laws will protect the lives for the train users, with the last reforms having been done in 2005. The bill will also ensure the railway transport sector is in compliance with regional and international convention on the economic safety and environmental sustainability of railway transport.
Serious penalties for offenders in terms of mostly vandalism and interference with railway asset and infrastructure, mostly because in railways we transport passengers, and the passengers we carry on our trains are quite many. One train can carry up to over 1,200 people, and some of these components on the infrastructure, including the bolts and the clips, you find when we have interference and people destroying the infrastructure, it can cause derailment of this train and it can cause death of all those people.
Tumeitiwa hii bill ya kwamba tuweze kuipitisha, na kwingine tumeona ni nzuri na kwingine tumeona inahitaji marekebisho, kwa sababu tuseme kama ni kuhusu wakulima. Hawa wakulima wamekuwa hapa zaidi ya miaka 30. Wengi wao wamelea watoto wao kupitia hiyo ukulima, na sasa imesemekana ya kwamba watafungwa. So hiyo tutaweza sema ya kwamba iwe na majadiliano katikati ya railway na wakulima wetu, ndio pia waweze kufaidika.
We would expect pengine wahamasisha watu wa hapa ndio waweze kujua kutumia reli. Hata ingawa ninajua mimi na tumeitumia vizuri, imekuwa transport kwetu na tumeifurahia, imetusavu vizuri, na isipokuwa ni sasa tunasikia kuna mabadiliko kidogo itakuwa, tungetaka wa maintain fares zile walikuja nazo wakati ule, sababu ilitusaidia sisi kama watu tukienda biashara zetu Nairobi na tukirudi hapa tulikuwa tunaona this one was a good means, na in fact ilikuwa cheap transport. We liked it.
And with that, we take a break here at K24 Newscast. Stay put.